Hello everybody, my name is FireClaymore and welcome back to another episode here on FireClaymore Official, and today I want to talk to you guys about school. Now, I've mentioned it many times that I live in Colorado, and you can see that my screen, my glasses, that's not a good thing. I've mentioned a couple times in a few of my videos that I live in Colorado, and obviously that's in America, and it's kind of a common knowledge that Colorado's got a pretty good school system for the United States, but the United States is a pretty crappy school system. Like, when you spend a couple, $1 billion more on the military a year, probably not a good idea. And, especially when it comes to the fact that grades are more important than actually learning the material. Like, the whole point of school is to learn so that you can get a job and you can survive and you won't die of being a homeless person in the middle of a city begging for stuff, because that would suck. But that's not really a thing anymore. Teachers and parents care more about grades than they do about actually learning the material. Like, for example, I know a lot of people that have basically said that they have forgotten their entire years of schooling. People that have graduated high school and moved on to college, they have pretty much forgotten everything they learned in school that they didn't need in their field of education. For example, I know a kid that he graduated last year, and he is a musical theater major in high school, or college, after he graduated high school. Do you think he bothered remembering anything he learned in any of his science or math classes? I don't really think so, because I wouldn't if I was doing something like that. Like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. Probably something with computers, or if, the whole YouTube thing takes off, I'll want to be doing that. But I don't really know at this point, because the way the American school system works is that a 70 is usually passing. A 70 is usually D. A C is 80, is around the 80s, a B is around the 90s, and then A's are kind of up there. I'm not sure how it works, because my school runs on a really weird system. It's 0.51, 1.5, all the way up to 4.0, and it kind of makes sense if you think about grade point averages, but it doesn't really help, because it's kind of been ingrained in people's minds that if you're smart, you need to be doing perfect in school. You need to be getting all A's, all 4s if you go to a weird-ass freaking thing like my school, and that that you need to be perfect. Like, I am in a couple of advanced classes. I am in chemistry, which is a junior level class. I'm a sophomore at the moment. I'm taking world history and geography, which it's a common sophomore level class, so that's not that advanced. And then in English, I'm taking American literature, which is the advanced English option for the sophomore. And for math, which is the most advanced thing I am in pre-calculus trigonometry, which is probably the hardest class I have, because it's the senior level class I'm taking as a sophomore. And it's been ingrained in people's minds that if you're taking advanced classes, you need to be doing perfect in them because you're smart. And every teacher has the same thought that I'm giving them 2 hours of homework, they will be spending 2 hours a night doing homework. But when you have 4 teachers giving you 2 hours of homework every night, that's a total of 8 hours of homework. Considering you get home at a reasonable hour, say 4 o'clock, you won't be done with your homework till about midnight. That's considering you get home at 4, don't have any after-school extracurricular activities, and you don't need to eat or breathe or anything, because you spend 8 hours at school pretty much a day. My school goes from 7:45 in the morning to generally 3 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock on Mondays because of early release, so teachers can have meetings for the extra hour that we're not in class. But because of this, I normally don't get home till 4, because obviously I don't have my license yet. I can't at the moment. So I have to take the school bus, which, that sucks. I have a completely different rant for the school bus. But I normally don't get home till about 4:15. Now, considering that I have about 2 hours of homework for my pre-calc class It's pre-calc, first semester, trig, second semester. So I have at least 2 hours of homework every night in pre-calc. Then I have about an hour of everything else. That's a lot of homework. And they also somehow expect you to get a full night of sleep, which is not going to be possible. And it's a common misconception that graduating high school is such an amazing achievement, when in reality all you really did was survive 12 years of going through with all this crap. And if I use a lot of profane words, it's just because I'm expressing my emotions. I'm sorry if that offends you or anything. But I talked with a couple of my friends today. We had this huge conversation during lunch today, so that's why I'm talking about this, is that you really, people are basically saying, like, school sucks, you get 2 hours of sleep every night, you have to wake up at 6 in the morning, and then you're stuck at school all day learning stuff that's never going to be used in your future, and that it's all completely hopeless till you get to college. Now, I don't really agree with this, and there's a few reasons why. The first main reason is that, it's there's school sucks in general. School is what you make of it. If you have no friends, then try and make friends. Like, going into my freshman year of high school last year, people didn't really like me. I was kind of an outcast, and I made friends with people that I was kind of sort of like acquaintances with, and now I have a pretty solid group of friends. People just need to try and do that, and if it's really that bad, then I'm sorry if you can't make friends. I know it sucks. I've been there, but it's possible. And another thing is waking up super early. That I can't really give a counter argument to, because I usually get like 4 to 6 hours of sleep every night, which is not a lot. I usually go to bed at like midnight, 2 a.m. because I'm doing homework for such a long period of time, and I don't do many extracurricular activities. So that's also a different thing. And another thing is that people have gotten to that point in their head where they think, I'm in, say, biology right now, and we're learning about evolution. I hate science, so I don't care about evolution, so I'm never going to use this in my lifetime. People basically get it into their head that if they are not going to work in that field of education, then it's useless knowledge, and a lot of people in the end don't do the work for that class. I was kind of like this last year in biology when I took it, because I was like, I don't give a freaking heck about how Charles Darwin went to the Galapagos and thought that birds looked different, and he came up with the theory of evolution. It's an interesting thing, and it's an amazing fact that one guy, by looking at a bunch of freaking birds, was able to find out that pretty much every religion is in a way incorrect. Now, I'm not mocking any religions right now. I don't really love talking about religion, but it's a theory. It's called the theory of evolution for a reason. So make of it what you will. But that's an interesting thing. It's just an interesting thing that I don't really care about. But the problem with that is people think, I don't need to worry about this in my life, so I'm not going to do the work, and that's going to give them a good reason to be passing the class. If you don't do the work, you're not going to pass the class. It's that simple. And people basically think that I don't want to go through this crap, I don't want to be in school. That's why a lot of people drop out of school and don't graduate. But if you think about it, would you rather deal with this much corruption and crap in the first 18 years of your life, possibly a little bit more if college is kind of jacked up? I don't know, I'm not in college yet. Basically the exact same. Would you rather go through that in the first part of your life and then live like an actual full life? Because a lot of people don't really consider you're an adult till you're 18, especially in the United States. So basically, would you rather deal with that while you're a kid, while you're living at home, and you have your parents to help you, most likely? You have your parents to help you through all of this bullcrap, or would you rather deal with an extremely corrupt society where you like have a job that like per se like people complain that they are never using something they learn in school. Would you want to have a job where you only get paid if you do a certain part of your job? That's basically how I see it transferring over. But another problem that I see with it is that parents have extremely high expectations. I say this because it's basically been widely considered that, or at least in a kind of old-fashioned sense, that D is barely passing. Like normally in the American school system grading, I don't personally use this system. Okay, sorry about that. Like I was saying, my school doesn't use the FDCBA scale, so I can't really like vouch for how this is broadly like generalized at the moment. So please pardon me if I'm completely ignorant. But I know that especially when my parents were in high school, that D was passing, C was average, and average was okay. A B was good. Good job, you got a B. An A was great. You are a genius. You got an A in that class. Go you. But it's eventually gotten to the point where D is terrible. You're barely passing a class. What's wrong with you? And then it's like a C. Come on, you can do better than that. They say it's average, but you're better than that. And B's like, okay, you can do better. And then an A's, you got an A. That's cool. It's kind of gotten to the point where perfection is considered necessary in school, but then the moment you leave school, that the productive rates, like I think that like the productivity rates of a lot of like American businesses is pretty terrible, and it's not like 70%. Like, I don't really know it, but if it was as efficient as schools demanded, then things would be a lot better. But it's gotten to the point where, like, if you're not getting A's, that you're doing something wrong. You are somehow unable to balance school, extracurricular activities, homework, and sleep all at once, and still breathe and eat and take care of yourself, because people have outrageous expectations of what a teenager is able to do. Like, my parents used to be pretty hardcore about their beliefs, like, because me and my siblings have all been pretty smart, but my older sister kind of didn't try that hard in high school. Like, she passed, she graduated, she did a good job in high school. Like, I'm not saying, like, my older sister's stupid or anything. No, she's freaking fantastic. But me and my sister that is around the same age as me, we're both pretty smart. We're both in a lot of higher level classes, and because of that, my parents expected that we will be able to perform on an extremely high level. Now, my parents eventually developed the same kind of mindset as me. I guess you could say that, because whenever my parents last year were complaining about, oh, you only have a such and such in math, I'd be like, well, how did you do in math? And last year I took Algebra 2, because how it normally goes is that from freshman year to senior year, you take algebra, geometry, Algebra 2, and then pre-calc. And last year I took Algebra 2. I took Algebra 1 in 7th grade, 2 years before you are generally expected to take it. And I took geometry in 8th grade, which is generally considered to be a sophomore level class. I was taking those in middle school when I was about 13 and 14. It's pretty young to be learning such complex math. Last year, as a freshman in high school, 14 and 15 years old, I was taking Algebra 2. Now, I eventually got my parents to think of it as this way. I was taking a junior level class as a sophomore. The highest level math class my dad took was Algebra 2, and he took it as a junior. The highest level math class my mom took was Algebra, because I don't think they offered anything higher than Algebra where she, like, went to school, because she went to a pretty small school, so that's a legitimate reason, in my opinion. So, because of this, like, my parents have eventually thought, holy crap, my son is doing some pretty high-level math, I'm going to cut him some slack. They've eventually thought about this throughout all my classes, and they know that school is hard, and it's hard to balance everything. In my school, this is kind of a tangent right now, but bear with me. In my school, there is something that is known as the DP, the diploma program, but sometimes people call it the DP program, which is weird because it's a diploma program. But basically, it's like AP classes, but completely different, and only certain amounts of colleges accept DP as like a you're smart kind of thing. And because of this, it's widely considered to be like you're giving up your senior year of high school from having fun and being like the greatest year of your life in high school to being you are stuck doing absurd amounts of work for your entire senior year, and you don't sleep a bit. And this is kind of true. There are only 20 students in my school that are doing the full DP program, which means that they're taking DP Science, DP Math, DP English, and DP History, and also DP French and or Spanish, because those are the only two languages that are offered at my school. And it's crazy. You have to be doing nothing in your life to be able to do the DP program, and like it's crazy because I think to also get it, like be accepted, like get the thing, I don't really know how to explain this. To like have it and do it, and yeah, you need to have like over 150 hours of community service also, and they also are like you should do sports or something like that. It's a nightmare. One of my neighbors, they are a full DP student, and they don't do many extracurricular activities. They do a couple, but not like they're not that person that does like 7 sports. And they're up to their butt cheeks in homework every night. I talk to them pretty much every day because they give me a ride to school, in the mornings and stuff. And they don't really get a lot of sleep. Coffee is their best friend because they need that to basically live through school and have it be okay. And like there's some people that are like frackin' crazy. Like my sister, she is trying to be she's on the track to being a full DP student. You're not really considered to be like a full DP student until it would be junior year? Probably junior year, because that's when they start offering DP classes in every single one of the 5 areas that it's taught. So my sister is on the track to being a full DP student, and she is attempting to balance that around rugby, hockey, and lacrosse. That's 3 sports, and also doing a couple extracurricular activities. I'm not sure how many she does, but it's generally a good amount. She's doing, I'd say, about 6 or 7, like, not school things, and she's stressed as heck. High school is stressing enough, and there's people like her that are toughing it out and are freaking crazy, but freaking amazing. And it all leads back to the point that grades and saying that you did something better is more important than actually learning. How long? Oh Lord, I've been talking for a while. Woo! Holy fricker. Sorry I've been talking for so long. Like I said, the FC official is my place to rant, and this is where I'm ranting. So, I rant. Yeah. So that's really going to be all for, this really big rant. If you guys put it down in the comments below how you feel the the school system where you live is. Say you live in a different country, if the crazy frickin' expectations of American society is the same where you live, then put it down in the comments below. If you live in a different part of the United States, then tell me if you experience the same amount of grades are more important than learning ideals from teachers and parents and stuff like that. So yeah, put all that junk down in the comments so that I can feel your opinions, because I talked with my friends about this today, which is really why I've been thinking about it a lot, and like, as long as you stick through it, you should be fine. But anyway, that is going to be it for this extremely long episode of FireClaymore Official. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, which I don't know really why you would, please consider leaving a like, comment, favorite, or even subscribe. Helps out so much more than you guys could possibly imagine. And yeah, I will see you guys later.